Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Bubba and Bobbie Show. I think we figured that out last time, guys. I think that's what we're calling it this time is the Bubba and Bobbie Show. Guys,
I
if
like it.
you're, it's different, right? Instead of Bubba's Garage, it is the Bubba and Bobbie Show. Guys, if you're listening or watching the replay, feel free to join us live each and every Friday at 7 o'clock Central Standard Time on both YouTube and Facebook. And heck, honestly, if you have or if you'd like to be a special guest right here on Bubba's Garage, do me a favor, reach out on our website at BubbasGarageTv. And maybe if you don't want to be a guest, but you have a topic you would like for us to cover, do me a favor, reach out on BubbasGarageTv. We'd love to hear from you. Guys, it's been a long, it's funny because we went into this whole break thing as thinking we were going to take a break, and we did. It was nice. It was, but I learned a lesson, and that is if you take off on Monday, you're going to have to make it up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So, it doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away. It's been one crazy week right here at Bubba's Garage, but nonetheless, we survived. Somehow, some way, we survived.
We made it to Friday. Woohoo!
Yeah, we make it back, and the whole world is different. Here it is 1 week later from our last live stream right here on YouTube as well as Facebook, and the world's kind of gone mad. But, I don't know that I expected anything different, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it changes every day.
It definitely has. So our first topic that we want to bring up real fast is Bruce reached out and he asked if we had any new pictures of the trailer. And Bruce is talking about our Runaway Venturist. And right now, Bruce, I don't think we have any new pictures. I'll have to double check that. But I have something Shelby's been working on for the past week in her spare time out in the garage, and that is her artwork on our what are we calling that, babe? It's our spice rack.
It's a spice rack, kind of. It's a part that we're going to be storing all of our like chips and stuff in, and she's been working really hard on that all week, and so far she's done a phenomenal job on it. I'm excited to show everybody.
It is pretty cool. We're really hoping to actually get the spice rack installed on the V-Series on top of the galley probably this weekend. My goal is to try to tackle that Saturday or Sunday, weather permitting. I mean, honestly, the whole week has been like a nightmare when it comes to weather.
It has been, man. There was one night I thought we were going to get a tornado. It got so bad. It was hailing and rain was coming in sideways. It was kind of scary for a little while.
It's been pretty rough. Now, if we have that camper actually parked out back still because we were installing the whole galley build and getting that mounted up and ready to go. And we haven't moved it into the garage at all. So it's still sitting out there, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because we get a good water test. So we're going to find out how that turns out pretty quick, right?
It definitely got a big water test over this
week. Guys, my entire veggie garden had been demolished. We actually had trees out in the backyard. And you guys, if you follow us right here on YouTube, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Our backyard is not that big. And we had two trees kind of like, babe, there were 45s.
45-degree angles, yeah.
45 degrees angles, yeah. These are like 10-foot trees, guys.
I was actually driving into town today, and I passed a house where a huge tree, a tree that looks like it had been there for a good 15, 20 years, was actually uprooted and laying over on its side. It was crazy seeing, all the debris and stuff that's been flown around and, laying on the side of the road and everything like that.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we stand right now on the V-Series. We hope to get on that project again this weekend, or I hope to anyway. And I'm going to install the spice rack. If everything goes well, I'm going to mount the chuck box, or I call it the trough box as well. I'm going to mount that to the drawer slides this weekend. So I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to do that, and then we're going to move on. We're going to start getting ready for that bed platform. We have to lumber.
And I'd really like to see that come together because, well, we talked about this in the past. We were talking about over Easter weekend trying to do like
Yeah.
a weekend trip to kind of test the waters with the new rig. And because of COVID-19, that didn't happen. So I'm really excited it seems like we're going to be doing a backyard camping weekend.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. I mean, we were talking about that not long ago. Howdy, Kevin. I hope you're doing well. Hey,
Hey, Kevin.
I need to talk to Kevin real quick. This is our telephone call right here. Kevin reached out on the end of our last episode about getting together and doing a topic. So, Kevin, I just want to say that I'm definitely going to look at doing that. I have that on my list. I want to reach out to you and let's chit chat and see what we can come up with for sure. Definitely interested. I saw that right as we ended the live stream last week. So, howdy, Kevin. I hope you're doing well, and more importantly, I hope you are staying safe out there. It's still a crazy world, guys. It doesn't matter how we look at it. I think the world's going to continue to be crazy, but nonetheless, we'll do our best to try to, we'll try to find a way to make peace with it. I mean, in the end, it's not going away.
Yeah. It's definitely not going away. I mean, something new, everything is changing on a daily basis. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just everything is still up in the air right now,
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is we still have a meat problem or a meat shortage around. So if you can get a hold of some steaks and briskets are the big ones. I mean, honestly, we don't eat that kind of stuff around here that much. But man, I'll tell you what, if that is your thing, you probably want to grab it pretty quick. Prices are going up; they're skyrocketing like crazy.
For all those griddle people out there, you might want to start keeping tabs out on some bacon too, so you can get your griddle season back up to start cooking on them.
But babe, you bring up the griddle thing like it's all fun. But let me tell you something. I'm slightly disappointed in the griddle thing. I mean, guys, right here on Bubba's Garage, we griddle out on the griddle 90. What is it? At least six and a half. I'll call it 6.5 days a week because on the 7th day, we pretty much have frozen leftovers that were from earlier through the week. And I was doing some research and I was checking to see about replacing the one that we have out on the patio with some wheels and stuff like that. And man, I found out the components are made in China. So they're having a shortage and being able to get those to the United States. So now I need a manufacturer in the state of Texas, the United States, that makes griddles. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and the thing is all the components are made in China, but then it's put together here in the United States. Yeah. So it kind of makes it hard for if you're over the wintertime, your igniter got shorted out or something like that happened where you need those other spare parts. But, even if your igniter goes out, we've done it, man. Just turn your gas on and use a lighter underneath there and light them up.
Right. Chris says on the 7th day he rested. Amen. Exactly. Right. It was kind of nice getting that break, Chris. I mean, it really was. I almost wish though that because we took the break, right? We enjoyed our time off Monday observing Memorial Day.
That's right.
I wish the work would disappear, for Monday. I just don't think it's fair. I think the work should have disappeared. And when we went to work on Tuesday, it should have been Tuesday, not Monday and Tuesday. And that's kind of the way I felt. I had to do Monday's work and Tuesday's work. But it was really nice. It truly was really nice having the break. That's for sure.
It definitely was nice. And on Memorial Day, I actually did a lot of cooking that day. I actually did. I think I made we made how many?
Four or
5 different meals on the griddle for freezing for those quick fix nights kind of thing. So it's actually really fun to be able to, see how many meals that I can make, in that time period. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, she did. She made up. And, the thing is, we talked about using them this week over the week, and we never used any of them. They're still frozen. They're sitting in the freezer. But under a crunch, we'll definitely use them. I mean, we live out here in the country, and I don't really want to call it country too much because it's really a country suburb, if you will. But if you order out or order anything like that, there's not a lot of options. There's not a lot of options at all. I mean, 90% of it is pizza, so Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah, pizza kind of gets a little old after a certain period of time. But I mean, so whenever, I'm in town or something like that, I like to try and pick something up that we can have, you know, heat up later kind of
Yeah, make
thing
it
for
quick,
dinner and
right?
stuff like that. Yeah.
Corey says, "Heck, I'm gonna need a bite to eat." Corey, if you're gonna need a bite to eat, you might order yourself a brisket pretty quick, like because you're not gonna be able to get them anytime soon. But it's funny. I was listening to news radio and stuff like that the other day, and I actually heard of a website where local ranchers are actually processing their meat for this website, and people can go direct order.
Really?
Yeah, I heard it. Earlier this week on one of the Houston channels down south. Yeah, I was curious. I kind of want to check that out and see if we can get some chicken because I need a lot of chicken. I mean, we just eat a lot of chicken right here in Bubba's Garage, but yeah, I'm curious. If we can do that, I'm going to check it out. I have to pay attention and figure out what it is that they were talking about. But yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, that's definitely.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart because a lot of the plants are closing down, right?
Right.
And so the ranchers aren't able to sell the meat, right? So I don't know. I'm just curious. Kevin says, "Count your blessings," since a lot of people would love to have work. You know what, Kevin? I'm glad you brought that up because you hinted on a topic that I'm really passionate about, and I've talked about this on previous live streams. Amen. I mean, that is a huge thing. I mean, everything in I saw last week. Baylor Scott and White right here in Texas is laying off 1,200 people. 1,200 people, and I think I mentioned this a long time ago on our early live stream. So you guys can definitely check that out. And that is, COVID. Everybody locked down. Everybody kind of froze. There was this. Corporations have this reserve money that can typically last 1 to 3 months. But then after that, what happens after that? I mean. So you get through that 1 to 3 months and everybody starts coming back to work. But guess what? You don't have the company. You don't have the business. So
right.
it is scary. There's a lot of people out there without jobs. And I think this is a great opportunity for the world to start thinking differently. I'm going to bring this up. I probably shouldn't bring this up, Ben. I'm going to bring this up, guys. And this is the stadiums. I've been listening online for a really long time for the past couple of weeks, and everybody wants to bring back football. Everybody wants to bring back all of these sports, and I totally respect it. But here's what I'm concerned with. I don't know how much these stadiums make, but let's say they make $50 million fully packed one night. I'm sorry, but they ain't going to be fully packed day one. They're not going to be fully packed day two. So,
well, I mean, even if they opened up the stadium to be able to fill the stadium packed, people out there aren't going to feel comfortable going and buying one of those tickets and sitting in a stadium for a while.
They're not. I mean, and that's the thing you're having with doctors' offices and things like that. They don't feel comfortable going in. So I guess what I'm trying to say, and this is back on Kevin's comment, truly count your blessings. And I encourage each and every business owner out there to start thinking about things differently. You're going to make money. The question is how are you going to do it? You're going to make it differently. And I think this is an opportunity for those businesses to create jobs for those folks that don't have them. And if you do that and you do it differently, you can win. Let's create some jobs for these folks. Just think outside the box. Phone Boy says, how does the meals cooked ahead of time working out?
It works out phenomenal on those days. Those days. Those days where you're too tired to cook, or, it gets too late before you know it, that kind of thing. What we do is we actually cook up like 2 to 3 different types of meals, or we'll take leftovers from a meal and just put them in a zip sealer and freeze them and just use those for those what we call quick fix nights rather than ordering pizza all the time. And I think, man, it works out phenomenal.
So I kind of want to add on to that. Farm Boy had mentioned. So I mean, it really one of the things that I want to bring up is that it depends on how you do it. So what we do is we grill up our chicken and we smoke it on a smoker. And then we will take that and freeze it up. And we don't marinate it with like strict barbecue flavor. We marinate it with a mustard rub and stuff like that so that we can take that chicken, slice it up one day for fajitas. Grill it up, throw some seasoning on it, and mix some veggies, and you got instant fajitas. I love fajitas. We eat fajitas probably about once a week.
At least once a week.
At least once a week. I could eat 7 days a week, to be honest with you. Another thing is we dice that up. We'll use that in like making Chinese foods and things like that from scratch on the griddle. So I guess it really depends on what you do with it. But when we say we freeze stuff up, 90% of the time it's the meats. Those take the longest to cook, and that's usually what we do.
And just having those meats on hand makes it so much easier just to cook through the week.
Yeah.
Right. All you're doing is basically heating and serve. So just doing those chickens, or, we put chicken and sausage, or, whatever we choose to put on the smoker for the next 2 weeks, just having that ready and frozen, it saves so much time every night when you're cooking.
Right. Right.
Kevin says, I like the Instapot meals that I can prepare on Sundays for the entire week. Kevin, I've never used an Instapot. I think I'm more of, the old fashioned crock pot, put a pot roast in it. So I haven't used an Instapot, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
I've heard a lot of good things as well.
Where like they say a roast that would take 4 to 6 hours to cook in a regular crock pot, you can have it done in like an hour. So I can see how that would definitely help for the meals through the week.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so Farm Boy, hopefully that answers your question. I mean, we primarily do it on the weekend, and when you're smoking meats, it's nice because you just put it in there and you walk away for several hours and you come back and it's just ready to go for the most part. That's kind of what we do. And guys, if you haven't checked out Farm Boy's Garage at FarmBoy30117, do me a favor, check him out on YouTube. He's currently doing a farmhouse renovation project. It's pretty cool. If that's something you're interested in, definitely check him out. So that's kind of how we do our meats right here on Bubba's Garage. I mean, it's kind of like, it's more of a, we told you last time we do our meals. We have 18-hour days twice a week. And when we do, those are kind of the go-to thing, unless it's something quick that we can just throw on the griddle. And the griddle is like a lifesaver.
It is. It is. I mean, we had this conversation actually last weekend while I was making up all those meals to freeze up, that, if I were to make all of those meals on the stove, I would be doing dishes 90% of the time, because I would have to keep washing pots and pans and stuff like that. Where on the griddle, you just wipe it down and it's good to go for the next round.
I mean, when you have that chicken pre-made up, how fast it is. I mean, it really doesn't take long at all. I mean, literally, you can make an entire meal of fajitas in less than 15 minutes.
Yes, absolutely.
We make tacos in 10. Yeah. So, cooking the meats in advance is definitely a huge benefit for us right here in Bubba's Garage. Drillbit says, did I make it on time? Drillbit, I mentioned this on the last episode to someone else, and I'll tell you the same thing. You're never late. You're always on time right here in Bubba's Garage. We don't keep to the clock, and in the end, the clock is just one of those meaningless points that for some reason somebody decided we have to obey a schedule. And I'm not big on that. But with my team, if they don't show up on time, then I'm not happy at all. So this is family. This is not my team. We are family.
That's right.
You can be late. It's okay. But if you work for me, you better be here at 8 o'clock. I'm just picking. We don't treat folks that way. But yeah. So Chris says, yes, is a huge problem. Restaurants as well as stadiums only being allowed to do 50% capacity, for example. For some of them, they can't even break even. Yeah, with that. Definitely a time for reflection about what we took for granted. Yeah, Chris, you're absolutely correct. Ball games are not ever going to be the same again.
And we talked about this before too. He brings up restaurants. I think we actually talked about this last night, where, going and sitting down at a restaurant, if I remember correctly, my exact words were, I have a feeling we're going to be intimidated about going and sitting down in a restaurant for a while, and restaurants are now having to pick up tables to control how many seats are being seated, so servers and, they're going to have a hard time making those tips, because servers rely so much on the tips and everything like that too.
Yeah, I mean it's a totally different way of thinking, and this is why I've encouraged a lot of the people that we know in the business world to start thinking outside the box ASAP. We talked about this the first time that we did our live stream. I have this passion within me, to tell everybody, hey, let's do this and let's start thinking about it now, because I got news for you. By the time you think about it, it's going to be too late. There's a lot of opportunity for work out there, but we have to be entrepreneurs first. We have to think about doing business differently. And I agree. Maybe I don't know the semantics and the true statistics behind it, Chris, but if they negotiate differently with some of these, the companies that stream their content, these TV stations and things like that, I think there's a great opportunity to make more money. But they got to do it. And I'm not seeing any of that. Maybe they are, but I'm not seeing any of that. I think there's a great opportunity there to do things differently. But I'm not sure that helps put people in jobs unless they're working for those companies. So I don't know, there's a big domino effect there. But it's definitely scary. It's definitely scary.
Well, and I mean, his last sentence on here, definitely time for a reflection of what we've taken for granted all these years. That's also true on the opposite side of the fence. I mean, running to the local convenience store to pick up a soda and some chips, now you're worried about touching those bags of chips. And, they have the plastic partitions between you, where now it's a less personal experience of checking out, just buying something, going to the grocery store. Everything that, always seemed so simple in the past has now become more complicated because of the fear of the virus.
Yeah. Yeah. Farm Boy says, I saw a griddle at Walmart. It had an air fryer built in. I'm probably going to get it at some point. Yeah. There is a Blackstone griddle. It's about 3 burner on the left, and it has 2 burners on the right with a deep fryer built in. So you could use it for cooking, as well as deep frying and things like that. We've looked at it. It's actually pretty impressive. Actually it's not a bad deal if you like the burner pots or the burner, and you like deep frying. The only reason we didn't pick it up, and this is just honest truth, is because it was shorter than the 36-inch that we have now. The 36-inch works out really good.
I think what Farm Boy is talking about is the air fryer combo.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The air fryer. The air fryer is underneath the griddle plate.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the one underneath. Oh, okay. Yeah. God, good catch, babe. So that one is that is a 36-inch with the air fryer underneath. We looked at that one too. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we've looked at all of them, and the only pitfall to that one that we didn't like was that you had to plug it in.
For the air fryer, you actually had to have an electrical outlet for it.
Yeah, which we have, but it wasn't something that we were interested in doing. But man, I tell you what, it's pretty impressive.
If that air fryer, the heating for the air fryer actually ran on the propane, where everything was propane powered, man, I would definitely be more interested in looking at it. But yeah, that having to plug it in to be able to use the air fryer, I mean, that's kind of a downfall in my opinion, because we would use the air fryer. I mean, I make Chinese food with egg rolls. I make hamburgers and French fries. Yeah, we'd use it all day long.
So guys, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm trying. I don't want to miss any of your comments, so I'm doing the best that I can. But so we got that big, 42-inch smoker out back. Okay, so guys, coming up in the next week or two, we're gonna replace that. Just a heads up. And what we're replacing it with is just on the other side of this studio. I haven't even taken it out of the box and put it together yet. But the cool thing about this smoker is it can actually bake. Yeah, it's something that is different. Most smokers don't cook at temperatures high enough to be able to bake at the same time. I just mentioned that because Bobbie was talking about, you want to throw in some fries or throw in some of that kind of stuff. We have an option. It can even bake bread. So we'll see how that goes. Just coming up really soon. Drillbit says that I love coming home to a cooking crock pot. Yeah. So I agree. especially like if you're doing like a pot roast. Man, drill bit, man, that smell of pot roast with the potatoes and or carrots and stuff. It smells really good, and it tastes phenomenal. We haven't done a crock pot meal in a really long time, but they're easy.
They are. You just put them together in a matter of, I mean, like whenever I make a crock pot pot roast, it goes together in about 15 minutes and it just cooks, sits there and cooks for about 4 to 6 hours. It's great.
Yeah, I love a good pot roast cooked up in a crock pot for a little while. It sounds I think we should try that tonight. No, it'll take too long. We'll do it tomorrow. So Bruce, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Kevin says, check out the bag meals you store in your freezer. Everything goes in one bag, then plop it into your Instant Pot or slow cooker and done. I'll have to look for those because I didn't know that they had those kind of meals that were put together specifically for Instant Pots or crock pots. That would be phenomenal for.
So it's like pre-made, and you just throw it in there and just turn it on.
That's what I imagine. You just open up the bag, dump it in there, turn it on, and let it cook.
Oh, heck, I can't believe that. Now, that's kind of my meals. It's like Meals on Wheels, man. I'm game.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we'll try that out. And, you should look into that, babe. Let's see where it pans out. We've kind of gotten to this point where we do a lot of veggies right here in Bubba's Garage. What we actually do is we'll buy some of the frozen veggies for our quick fix nights or for the nights where it's just late and we got to just do something really fast. But we love a lot of fresh veggies. So we got that garden growing out back, and of course the storm plummeted it pretty bad, but it's still alive. It's hurt a little bit.
It's hurt a little bit. Yeah. Bruce says, I'm back running a gas plant this weekend.
Wow. So I'm guessing, Bruce, you mean you're back at work. So for that, I am very thankful that you are back at work running a gas plant this weekend. That sounds scary to me.
That does sound a little scary
to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what you do or how you do
it.
But
entails. Yeah.
Do me a favor, please be safe. Because running a gas plant sounds very, very scary to me. So thank you for what it is that you do, Bruce. And I am very thankful that you're back at work for sure. And honestly, Bruce, we don't really know each other, but we kind of know each other a little bit because we follow each other on social media. We both have V-Series. And we hope to cross paths at some point in this endeavor. I know the world's gone south recently, but we definitely hope to cross paths one day soon. And maybe, Bruce, if things hold up and we're able to make it to the Texas Outdoor Expo in October, as far as I know, it's still planned. Maybe we'll cross paths there. We will have our rig and stuff like that there as well. So definitely look for us there. Bruce says natural gas processing. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. Okay, it's a little bit better though, right? It's a little bit better. So yeah, definitely reach out. We'd like to cross paths. As far as I know, Texas Outdoor Expo is still on. I haven't seen any cancellations on that.
I haven't seen anything either. So yeah, I assume that it's still going to be going on.
Yeah, Glenda says, hello, Bubba and Bobbie. Hello, Glenda. I hope you're doing well. More importantly, I hope
Glenda.
You are staying safe, man. It's tough, staying safe. Every time I talk to somebody, I just, you don't know what other people are going through. You don't know what other people are dealing with out there. And man, I'll tell you, it's tough. So no matter what it is that you guys are doing out there or how, please do me a favor, stay safe, and send a lot of prayers to those that are out there in it, for sure.
Kevin actually corrected me. He said, no, you fill a gallon Ziploc bag with the ingredients and you're done. I gotcha.
See, Kevin, you just created more work. But I get the concept. How come we didn't come up with that? I mean, we pre-cook our meats. We can dice that stuff up, throw it in a bag, and then boom, it's ready to go later.
Right. I never thought to do that. That's actually a phenomenal idea. I'm going to have to try doing that.
I'm an entrepreneur, and I didn't even come up with that one. That was actually pretty smart. I like the idea, Kevin.
Yeah, why didn't you think of that?
So let's see. Drillbus says we wanted to get one of those pellet grills, but you have to plug them in. You can't take them to the park or to the beach. Yeah. I saw that, and not only the pellet grills, I have the same feelings that you do on that. I mean, any grill that I have to actually physically plug in, I got mixed feelings on. I guess if it's something that stays on the patio, or something like that, or a deck, it might be all right. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean the electric griddles or smokers, the electric smokers and grills, they do a phenomenal job with the final product. We've cooked on them before. I mean, the chicken comes out great.
yeah,
It's nice and juicy and it's cooked perfectly. There isn't any kind of
yeah.
char or anything, but it goes back to like he was saying, once you have to plug it in, it kind of becomes more of a problem to cook on it.
Green versus blue. Yeah, it's the battle of the colors. I mean, I'm guessing that you're talking about the studio setup and things like that right here on Bubba's Garage. And we started with all blue. Our colors for our company are blue, green, and orange, and then black, of course. As you notice,
Right.
our rig is painted completely black with the BGTV logo in green. So we figured we didn't want to match. We wanted to do things differently. But if things continue and we continue to do these kind of streams right here on Bubba's Garage, we're going to change things up quite a bit. We're going to have a stage built, the whole 9 yards, and probably do one video stream. You guys can't see this, but just kind of give you an idea. Like I said in our last video, this is a 2 foot by 4 foot section. It's actually not that big, and I get the floating LED board on the back. Shelby built this for me many years ago. She was a little squirt. You guys, we have a video on that.
Actually,
we have a video on that. She was a little squirt on the time, but at the time, but right about, you can't see my hand, but right about here, and that way is Bobbie. So it's another wall. It's faced that direction, and
in another 2 foot by 4 foot section that I'm sitting.
Yeah,
in.
but it goes a lot longer down that way where we have other stuff going on. But yeah, so it's kind of like the battle, I guess. I'm not really sure. Kevin says on that 1 gallon bag, the cleanup is simple. Toss the bag and you're done. Yeah, I think that's perfect. That's actually not bad at all. And you can throw that like in a crock pot or a steamer or something like that. When it's done, you dump it in your plate and throw the bag away. I think that's a phenomenal idea.
Absolutely. Farm Boy says, I only want a charcoal or gas grill. Here's the thing. We have the 17-inch griddle. We have the smoker. We have the 36-inch griddle. And we also have a gas grill. And I bought the gas grill because right. I bought the gas grill because, sometimes I wanted to have that, charred hamburger flavor or the really sticky, kind of barbecue chicken. But honestly, since we bought that, and it's been almost a year since we've bought that grill, we've probably only used it about 3 times.
I'm glad you brought that up, babe, because I was fixing to bash you on our live stream. I was going to demolish you. Guys,
we've only used it 3 times.
We don't use it that often at all.
No.
Hardly. I mean, we have our Bubba pit, and if we want some barbecue, we kind of do the charcoal thing that Farm Boy's talking about. We'll throw some charcoal in there, and I don't know if you saw the Bubba pit. You guys got to check out our videos on that. But we built that. Bobbie and I straddled that. I mean, come on, this is Bubba's Garage, right? We do the best we can what we have. Bobbie and I straddled a propane tank, one of them little like 15-pound, 20-pound propane tanks, and cut it in half. Man, we use it all the time. It's probably one of the best barbecue pits I've ever built, and I've built quite a few.
Yeah, it works phenomenal for being homemade, especially. I mean, that thing can cook up some meat.
Yeah. Farm Boy says, I appreciate it, y'all. Hey man, you're very welcome. I'm glad to see you join us on our live stream to talk about a lot of the stuff that you do over there. Quite a bit, in that farmhouse renovation is phenomenal. One day when we get out that way, seeing that thing, being able to see that thing in person is going to be phenomenal. And you're putting a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in that. And I know you and the family are gonna appreciate it in the long run. It's crazy how much effort that you're putting into it. And it's going to be well worth it in the end. Again, I mentioned this, guys. If you do not follow Farm Boy, do me a favor. Check him out, Farm Boy 30117. that farmhouse renovation project is huge. He's been doing it for a really long time, but he's got other content on his channel as well. He's definitely Bubba's Garage peeps. Drillbit says, let's see, they're especially bad down here on the coast where we have hurricanes and we lose power. Yeah.
Yeah. You lose power, you really can't use it at all.
You can't do anything, right? I mean, in our house, we actually have propane, believe it or not, in our house. Our house is powered through propane and electricity, of course. And that's kind of one of the benefits, just like you mentioned, Drillbit, it's kind of one of the benefits because if you lose power, you can still cook at least on your stove. You're not going to heat or cool, but I'll figure out ways to deal with that. But at least I can still eat. But like you said, I mean, go out to the patio. You got an entire griddle. You go out to the patio. You got charcoal. You go out to the patio. I mean, there's so many different options. It's always good to have a backup, and I think that's some of the stuff Kevin and we'll get into in an upcoming live stream right here on Bubba's Garage, because that's some of the things that he wants to talk about, and I think that's a great topic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's kind of how we do things. Our back patio is going to change up a little bit. We do have another gas smoker that we'll be replacing here really soon. It's I'm not going to tell you what it's called yet. I'll just wait and we'll see how it goes. And we haven't done like a griddle time or a Bubba-Que time or anything like that in a really long time.
We haven't. We haven't done one in a while.
We need to do it. It's really hard. We've been really busy. I mean, especially since this whole COVID thing. I mean, I'm managing my team entirely remote. Bobbie's managing her team entirely remote. And here's the thing, guys, they work more. What's wrong with y'all? They work more. Yeah, I'm looking at you. You work too much. We got people behind us. Y'all can't see that, but I mean, the thing is they work more. I mean, I get messages and things like that 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, look, man, I'm tired, y'all. So it's definitely a different world. It's greatly appreciated. We have a phenomenal team, but we're putting in the extra hours. So it's hard. We don't have a lot of time. And then our plans with this whole overland trip kind of shifted gears a little bit. We're still working on that. And that's what Bobbie and I were just talking about a couple of days ago, is that we're going to start picking up steam on getting this rig ready to go. I mean, keep in mind, we're not going to make it perfect, but in the end, we need to have our cooking spot and we need to have a sleeping spot.
We just need it to function. So, that's about it.
So right now, as it sits, we're looking at installing that spice rack on top of the galley here really soon. Shelby's been working really hard on that. I hope you guys get a pic. Hopefully we'll get a picture of that and we'll post it here real soon so you can check it out.
And then soon after that, we'll be working on getting the bunk done and a couple other tweaks. And then hopefully we can have a backyard camping weekend where we can give it a try and see how functional it's going to be for us on our actual trips.
Yeah, that's coming up really, really soon. We don't have much left to do. We'll be able to actually do a backyard camp night, I think. But the rule is the doors are locked and you can't go inside. That's the
right.
rule.
That's right. We're camping.
You go inside, you are done. In a vacation, we're leaving you at home. I want to pick this comment up real quick. Bruce had mentioned Big Bend in October. Bruce, I'm not sure exactly what path you're taking for Big Bend in October, but right during that path, or in that path we take anyway, is Overland out Texas Outdoor Expo. It's in the exact same path. So depending on the direction that you're coming from, you may be passing by, but we definitely need to connect around about that time for sure. We won't be able to make it to Big Bend in October because we're going to go to the expo. We're going to be there for 3 to 4 days, I think.
I think it's about 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah. If we head back out to Big Bend, it'll be closer to winter time, probably into December, first part of January. And if not, we're going to go down to Ocala. Probably around that time. Can't give you all the details, but if we head that direction, we'll definitely keep you posted.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So let's see. Kevin says, let me know how you want to connect. Yeah. Just Kevin, if you would do me a favor, go to BubbasGarage.tv. If you go there, we have 2 methods of communication. If you go there, you can send us a Facebook message directly from our website, or you can go to the contact us and send me a direct message. I generally check most, if not all those, unless I'm really slammed. So reach out. That's how we'll do it, and we'll communicate back and forth via email or messenger there for a little bit. We'll set a schedule that works for you and the topic, and then we'll do it. We'll make it happen. We'll definitely make it happen. Farm Boy says he can't wait to meet us. And I'm gonna bring this up because I'm gonna hold him to it at some point. He brought this up on our last live stream. Farm Boy, I really appreciate it because Farm Boy's out there in Georgia, and he offered up the ability for us to boondock on his property as we pass through. And you guys, if you do any overlanding, you guys know what I'm talking about. When you're boondocking or camping and stuff like that, you're literally in a spot overnight, and then you got to move to the next spot. And with this whole COVID thing and everything going on, Farm Boy was gracious enough to offer us that place to stay while we're passing through. We're definitely going to consider it, Farm Boy. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for that offer. It truly means a lot. This world is really crazy, and it's really hard to be safe. And man, I don't know. I mean, a lot of this travel around the United States for this big United States trip, we were looking at boondocking quite a bit. And I think for the most part, it's not that I was worried about boondocking. It's more that I'm worried about the city ordinance and rules during the time that we're getting to be in these places.
Getting into the one place that requires a quarantine, or getting into the one place that, is really high COVID-19 cases right now. It's the exposure. Yeah, absolutely.
So it's going to be crazy, but we got a lot of hop skipping that we need to do across the United States. But during that journey, not only is it going to be exciting to meet a lot of you guys and some of the other folks out there, but we're also going to meet family where we have a lot of family that we want to see along the way as well. So we're trying to coordinate a lot of that. So it's definitely going to be a challenging trip nonetheless. And we're going to be on a very, well, I don't want to say it was a tight time frame. I think the previous plan was a tight time frame, either way you look at it.
Yeah, the previous one was pretty tight. This one might be a little bit better. We have to sit down and really look at those numbers again. But yeah.
We probably won't venture too far off the beaten path as we expected. No, I mean, we're going to go off the beaten path. That's for sure. We just probably won't be as risky, I think, on some of the things,
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it. We'll just be a little less risky with the trip now than we were planning on doing before.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you guys all so much for joining us tonight on this live stream. I really appreciate it. It's really fun to kind of shoot the bull with you guys. And, I felt awkward creating the live stream tonight back a couple of days ago because I really enjoyed the previous live stream that we did where we didn't have to stay on any topic. I really like being able to conversate with you guys, kind of shoot the bull. And if the topics change, the topics change. I don't care. So it was kind of weird. I felt like I needed a topic so people knew what we were talking about. Maybe, I don't know. It was different. I want to know what you guys think about these style of live streams, being able to shoot the bull and just kind of have an everyday conversation and see where it takes us from Chevrolet projects to Farm Boys, Farm Boys Chevrolet projects to the farmhouse renovation project to the Bubba's Garage V series or our Jeep projects right here on Bubba's Garage. I just feel like it's a lot more normal.
It's a lot more relaxed. I really enjoy having these kind of vlogs because, we can actually have conversations more rather than trying to stick to one specific topic.
It's a lot more normal than it, lately than the world seems to be. Everything seems to not be so. Anyways, so I'd love to hear what it is, what your thoughts on that. We didn't put a topic on it. So I really appreciate you guys showing up for this live stream. We're going to end the live stream here tonight. Thanks so much for all of you guys coming out and joining us here. I'm not sure exactly where this road's going to take us. Not really sure, but one thing is for certain this weekend, I'm going to spend some time on the V series and see if we can't get that thing up and ready to go. And if everything goes okay, I'll get a couple of videos this weekend. We'll get those published out to you guys Tuesday. Guys,
so
if you
definitely stay tuned. Definitely stay tuned.
Yeah, definitely stay tuned. A lot of things changing right here on Bubba's Garage, but in the end, they're all for guys, hold on. I know I probably shouldn't pause this. We're getting ready to end the video. I bought, what was that thing? Is a portable crib.
Oh, a pack and play.
pack and play.
Yeah, pack and play.
Pack and play, and that's for our granddaughter Emily. So if when she comes over, she has a little place where we can put her toys and stuff like that. And that reminds me something else I want to bring back up. So Farm Boys Garage, Jay, I want to say huge congratulations. We follow him on Instagram, and he's got a new grandbaby, right? So huge congratulations to you.
Yes,
Out there. We saw that.
congratulations.
That's so awesome. We just had our grandbaby not too long ago, and so we're really excited about that. And I bought a playpen. I think it's been a really long time, so it's really weird. Yeah. So yeah, we'll definitely be reaching out, guys. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We're going to end this video, but if these are the type of topics that you would like for us to cover, which is absolutely anything and everything, definitely leave us some comments. And more importantly, hit the crap out of the like button and click the little bell on the right-hand side. I don't think I've ever said that before. Hit the bell on the right side. Yeah, hit the bell in case you get notification. I've never said that before. So guys, again, we're going to wrap it up. So I really appreciate you sticking around. If you like the video, click the like button. More importantly, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, we'll see you on the flip side. Good night, everybody.
Good night.